We are switching up the commentators a little bit. I'm going to be taking a back seat here, and we're throwing in Big O into the ring. Big O, why don't you introduce yourself?
What's up, guys? It's the new sensation, Big Annotation. Sorry, I had to replace my man Resource out here. He's got that beautiful husky voice, but hopefully I can come in and do it justice as a substitution for now.
It's all good.
You're gonna get the same level of respect as like a substitute teacher. I'm just saying that right now.
Oh no!
Carlo's here on Raditz, as you can see. Raditz is probably going to play, well, I say probably, definitely going to be playing a hand control variant. The Piccolo deck, I'm not sure how much draw the Piccolo deck has. Looking at the list, I really like this list. The Namekian deck's really, really interesting. Green yellow is always a pet, pet favorite. Interesting inclusions. We've got the Piccolo and Gohan super combo, SCR, one assimilated ability, one Kami's Power Piccolo, which I'm a massive fan of, and then 3 copies of the Gohan Z Fighter SPR. I think it's looking pretty spicy.
I can tell you from experience, I made this Raditz deck personally, so it really likes going first, and it really likes seeing Nappa on 3, as every other Raditz deck does.
Of course. This will be the last thing I'm saying before...
Carlo is a little inexperienced playing it, I should say. We were testing some games earlier, but I'm confident.
Well, we'll see what he can do. So before I hop out, I will say the predictions are up. You guys got 5 minutes to bet those Timbits to who you think's going to win the whole set here. Also, Apple White, thank you so much for joining the Timbits gang.
Okay, so talking through the game plan, Raditz, you're doing hand maths all the time. Raditz doesn't really draw an awful lot. You have things like the Ape, Saiyan Instincts to mitigate that. Outside of that, is there really any way for Raditz to add cards from deck to hand?
Sure, there's the Raditz 1-drop that draws 1 for every 2 in Warp.
Yes.
But that doesn't start becoming a thing until earliest turn 3 or turn 4 if you've gone first. Going second, it becomes live on turn 3 because math makes it so you can get 4 into Warp.
Yeah.
Assuming you see Nappa on turn 3. But
okay.
Otherwise, you're not really plussing.
So I suppose then the game plan of the Namekian player would be to kind of starve them of of resources, I should say. And then go for game when they're on the back foot. I imagine this is going to be a Vegeta super combo, yeah.
And this, I think, is going to be...
dropping a card here.
Yeah.
This, I think, will be a particularly interesting matchup because Raditz obviously being a very hand control focused deck against Piccolo, which is sort of renowned for drawing a lot of cards, but the draw power early on is especially reliant on it seeing a lot of Namekians and a lot of its different early pieces. So it will definitely be interesting to see how it plays out. Obviously, the Lord Slug Super Namekian might not do so much work against Raditz because Raditz is a deck that is kind of good at working with a low hand size, considering that its leader doesn't even draw.
Yeah.
You draw once with Awaken, but other than that, no, you're never really drawing at all.
Yeah, so in the early game, I imagine that Faysal's going to be using maybe the Super Namekian as like warp fodder. Just to, because as Big O said, it's not going to get you that much value. Yeah, this is going to be... I think there's going to be like a crossover point, maybe about turn 3 or turn 4, where depending on how the Piccolo player's drawn, depending on what setup the Raditz players managed to get going, that will probably be what decides it, because the top end, Piccolo doesn't have a real, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Big O, doesn't really have a big top end, it's more mid-rangey, go wide, hit them a lot of times.
Yeah, I feel like the Piccolo deck, from what I can see here, is looking to be fairly reliant on getting cards like the Super Namekian Slug down or Piccolo Assimilated Ability to kind of slowly grind out the resources of your opponent. and just get into the late game with a much larger hand size than your opponent would have.
Yeah,
I will say, I'm sorry for cutting you off. I will say Raditz likes to go late as well, because if he amasses a lot of warp, you're drawing a lot with the 1-drops, and you're going to be able to threaten with triple attack crit a whole lot more. If Carlo is able to get a good, consistent, stabilizing board, like maybe a Nappa Unison at the least, and then maybe if he can set like a 4-drop ape or something that can start working with consistent hand destruction, having a few punishing passions in the drop area, I think he'll like to go late, but if he doesn't see his pieces he needs, he will, even with 1 mana draw 4 or whatever, he will still be starved of resources, like you said.
Yeah. And I think, having looked at the Raditz build, the assimilated ability being at 1 might actually come back to bite Faysal, because that can KO 5 or less, has barrier, and draws you a card, just as an activate battle once per turn, so that can draw, kind of, over the course of 2 turns, 2 extra cards, which would offset a lot of Raditz's game plan. You see the Cells Kamehameha coming down, Raditz is now tapped out, he gets to discard a random card from his opponent's hand, and it looks like that is a 8-card hand. No, 9-card hand. It's an 8-card hand now.
He gets a cooler. That's to
is a
make
big
his dormants a lot safer.
That is a big hit. Cooler is at 2. Cooler is another card that can potentially draw 2 cards when it's played, and can also allow kind of any deck that runs yellow to, to push through sort of on a swing for game, essentially.
We gotta see
I think
if
it
he
will
sees
really
Nappa.
it really will depend on whether he sees that Nappa this turn or not.
Yeah.
And obviously, not only is Nappa very strong in being able to double down on that hand control with the +1 skill, but it also sets up his potential Golden Freezer Unison, which I assume is what he's planning to use as a finisher, which is of course very threatening.
We do.
Okay, so we see the Ribrian and drop. He's
Phase
tapping
3,
his
is this Golden or Nappa?
It's
There's
Nappa. Okay.
Nappa also provides a good, he's just 20k single, but what he's primarily used for is clearing off annoying battle cards.
Yeah.
Because once Raditz gets the 4 cards in warp, he's going to want to swing face in order to pressure the crit. So then you can use Nappa and other pieces. The 1 assimilated is now in the warp.
Yes. Very good spot.
But yeah, Nappa is going to be able to clear out these Namekians in rest mode by swinging at them. Or even Raditz will until he's put his opponent to at least 4 in warp to gain crit.
Yeah, and it really does feel like with...
Is that Mira Assault from the Skies?
Yeah, that does look like... I think
So
that's his only Overrealm as well.
So he's put a black card, which stops Raditz from being able to benefit from it because it's a black card. And you're primarily not going to be overwhelming in this matchup unless it's for lethal, so I think that's a fine play. Because if you overwhelm mid-game and you put 13 cards in warp, that 1-drop Raditz is drawing 6 for 1.
Yeah, and with yellow's kind of lack of disruption in the sense of it can't counterplay a 1-drop coming down, it kind of rests it and swings over it. That really does become quite important. The Nappa player, I keep saying the Nappa player, I mean Raditz. The Raditz player sitting on 6 life?
Yeah,
I'd say so.
There.
Yeah, quite a comfortable spot for green to be in. I think with the ribbon drop, that's quite threatening for the yellow player. The yellow player kind of needs to start amassing a reasonably sized hand. Now, the Gohan has come down, which is quite useful. I think that it also draws a card.
It's gonna draw him a card, yeah. The +1 will draw him a card every turn. So, whatever leader can do, plus all of your Namekians that are replacing themselves, if I'm not mistaken, all the little ones like to redraw. And now Gohan is also going to be drawing.
It really does feel like it's going to be whoever's Unison can stick the longest will probably clinch out this game here. Those Unisons are just going to be stacking advantage here.
My only fear for Piccolo is that he's at 4 life already.
Yeah. If he gets greedy here and swings with his own Unison to try and knock markers off that Nappa, then we could definitely see a quick finish with Golden Freezer here. And he is swinging with it, so...
Can Raditz protect Nappa? I feel like he's trying to get Nappa down. He's at 6, which means he can't clones.
Yeah, he can't clones. He's got dormant potential, but I think he would have definitely snap played it there.
Yeah, I see that.
Vegeta doesn't currently have blocker because he doesn't have the field card in play.
That's
yeah,
correct.
that's true.
He's passing turn. Nappa gets to live.
Is that one marker, I think? Yeah,
Yeah.
swing from Unison, swing from leader.
He could have swung the poutine bin, but obviously that's a large hand.
Yeah.
Or a large amount that he'd have to combo in from hand, especially against a hand control deck. That's not really going to be helpful.
Nappa gets to live, and that's another yellow card, I believe. So when Raditz swings in now, if he does warp a colored, he'll have crit.
Yeah, so the only black cards that Piccolo is running is the Overrealm that you've seen and one copy of Poutine. So every card that goes to Warp now should be either, well, I was going to say green or yellow, but the green card's gone as well, so they'll just be yellow or green-yellow.
Alright, so now we can start threatening.
This Piccolo player might really have to hope that he has a Frieza's Army Reinforcements
go.
in hand right now, because if Raditz has a Golden Frieza, that's the only card that will save him here.
Yeah, you are absolutely right, Big O. Given that does the weight on one's shoulders could be useful. It depends, because Raditz only has 6 in hand.
He still has 4 energy, though.
He does have 4 energy. I'm thinking if he does windmill slam there's the Raditz, draw 2 or draw.
This is drawing 2, I believe, because he has the Mira. Or if that Mira was colored, then he'd be drawing 3. But no one ever complained at pay 1 draw 2.
No, it would still be drawing 2 because he's at 5.
Oh, is he at 5?
Oh, 5
Okay.
in Warp, yeah.
It's a little off. I can't. But anyway, draw 2 for 1 sounds like a good deal to me.
Yeah,
Still
yeah,
3 energy open. Looks like he's just going
There's
for the
the rib.
safe tap 2.
Just maximizing
second
the
cooler
hand size
and a
difference.
Gohan Unison.
Piccolo's hand size is really dwindling here, but if that Nappa Unison dies, then he might be able to claw it back and just try and get into that late game.
Yeah, the problem that Green has with Unisons is that, first of all, the ones that are most impactful are really expensive, and Green doesn't have a particularly good relationship with energy, with being able to use energy efficiently. And it also doesn't give him a defense step, so all of the cards that are on board can't be used as combo to protect it. So I would imagine he's just swinging wildly into this Unison here.
He's got a.
Yeah, and Dormant won't do much to protect it either, with it being already on 2 markers.
Yeah. Here we go. Yeah. Massive.
Yeah, for
Nappa's
sure.
dead.
Unless he has another Nappa, that's a big hit to Raditz's ability. And now this is drawing a card.
Yeah, all of these 1-drop cantrips that Piccolo's running are going to be massively helpful, just generating an extra 5k combo power here and there.
Definitely. He's leaving with, is that 3 energy open? Plays on 3 energy, I'm not sure what there is. But Garmo could be really powerful if he can disrupt, hitting the energy, I think, especially. Where are we going with this?
Is he
Where are
not?
we going with this slug?
Is he not swinging Unison and then comboing with Slug?
Unison. No, he's.
Gohan.
He's comboing Piccolo Gohan, so that makes it 44.
We can tap down. Oh, he can tap down the super combos.
And then he can
He
start
can
drawing
get 2
with
draws here, which is actually massive.
Mega.
Very
I guess
good
he's just
sign for
using it
Piccolo.
as a cheap ape, in a
He
way.
really should. He should really swing at the super combo here, right?
But the only
now
thing to watch
clones
out
are
for now
live
is
for
Clones
Raditz.
is live. Yep.
So if he clones here, he can effectively save his super combo. Oh, he swung face.
Oh.
That's an interesting choice.
I think he might be trying to set up for Gohan triple attack. Lethal
Next turn,
turn.
potentially, yeah.
Mm.
And 2 energy up in yellow will definitely help his defense.
So he's got
Again.
2 energy open. He's got 2 extra cards in energy, so his riposte costs 1. What else have we got? We've got Frieza's Army live, but Frieza's Army was already live.
Golden Frieza is still going to be doing quite a lot here, especially if he can add some hand destruction in with it to try and maybe force out the Frieza's Army reinforcements
3, I'm
early.
assuming another Nappa is coming now.
Yeah, I would imagine so. There's the Nappa.
Yeah.
He can't play Frieza unless he taps out and minuses 4. Otherwise, it's just a dual
I
attack.
think he's on 5 energy, right?
He is
can't
on
play
5
Golden
energy, so
right
you'd have
now.
to tap 5 and minus 4.
Ah,
Golden
yes, it's a
Frieza.
-4, that's correct.
Yeah.
For some reason I had it in my head it's a -3. It's an Empower 3 is what it is.
Yes.
So 5 non-black cards in Warp.
Yeah.
Gonna be 6 when Raditz swings.
It's going to be 7 when he activates. Oh no, he's already activated the +1 on that.
He has not but yet.
Yeah. So that
There
is
goes Piccolo.
Oh, interesting. Winners Bergamo. Sorry, is that winners? Yeah, it is winners Bergamo, isn't it?
A winner like me can recognize those things.
I can
Super's
confirm
just so
Piccolo is a
safe.
massive winner.
Ooh, the realm coming down. Rest off some battle cards. Keep the hand size healthy.
Mm-hmm.
He's been very good
Those
at
are-
defending against the Raditz here.
Yeah,
I mean, the Piccolo activate battle to just buff by 5k each per turn is gonna really help.
Yeah.
Again, against hand construction. Well, hand construction, hand destruction. I'm thinking someone's playing Lord Slug right now. Against hand destruction, it's going to be just those very, very small trades because hand destruction wants to get to a much more simplified game state. So every single 5k combo is going to matter
But she
massively.
comes in rest from Putin.
2 in hand from following that swing.
Where is
So-
that going? Slug, I guess? Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. Although, is he overvaluing the Super Namekian there?
I think he's trying not to give a card and finishing next turn.
I feel
so.
like that
Yeah.
secret rare surviving is going to be huge. Gohan still has 5 markers.
Oh, there's the assimilate. That's quite important. Any Namekian with a cost of 5 or less. That's
5 or
green
less?
yellow.
No.
2
It's
or
less
less,
than
I'm
that.
afraid.
2 or less.
It's 2 or less.
That's exactly
Yeah.
what I said. That's exactly what I said.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, see, Iritorum agrees with me. It's 2 or less.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking, my bad.
Alright, don't worry. When you write all the time, you get used to it.
Now, I don't think we've seen a dormant from Raditz here, so it could be very tricky for Piccolo to finish off. It's not like he's got many options in terms of double strike or triple strike here.
Okay.
3. Is he going to use the... Put that under to draw 2 more? Jesus. Every single turn this Raditz player is trying to chip his hand away, and at every single turn the Piccolo player is refilling his hand.
Yeah, Piccolo knows how to draw cards, that's for sure.
Ooh!
Oh, but
That is a big play.
he's forcing him if he wants to rest 4,
Ooh,
or else he
Wicked
gets the blocker
Saiyans.
body.
So the thing is, he can go Poutine in 3 energy and just send it to the drop.
He's choosing he doesn't want to deal with the blocker and just discarding 2 to make him tap out. I mean, he'd tap out regardless, but...
Yeah, Poutine resting that blocker is massive, because his game plan might have been to try and drop the Wicked Saiyans and then use Dormant
Have a
in
body.
combination with the blocker.
So he's tapping 2 to evolve. Green Piccolo card from his deck. He can play the Fuse with Nail, which is a double strike crit. It plays... Oh my god. When this card is played, choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, ignoring barrier, and KO them.
So Wicked's gone.
Big play. That is a very, very good play. And it's 24k double strike crit, but it'll be a 25k double strike crit because the fusions resolve. Oh no, I'm getting confused with the other Namekian, one of Namekian that does that.
But we still not seen a Dormant. That is going to be some unlucky draws from Raditz over here.
He's going for game 30, 40, 40.
Is Raditz on... Is he on 2 life?
He is on 2 life. Has a very big hand now. Lots of resources. I say very big, I think he's got 7 cards.
Big for Raditz.
$25. 35. $35. He needs 9 more. Does
I'm
he have it?
surprised we didn't see the Frieza Charismatic come down at any point this turn. Maybe he ripped it off of life
Or 5.
fairly recently. But those Kais come in clutch to outcombo that big double strike crit.
He has put his opponent to 3 in hand. And he does still have a unison swing.
He does, and the Unison hasn't +1 this turn. So he can still use the minus skill, I believe.
I think it has. I think it
I
has.
also believe it has.
Played it for 3, uptick to 4 last turn, uptick to 5 this turn. Oh, he hasn't!
What?
No, because on the turn he played
No,
it.
no, yeah.
+1
He'd be
too.
4. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Oh,
He was at
my-
3.
He's
on
on
3
3
life.
life.
Ooh. The controversy.
Clones
comes
coming
Clone.
down.
One swing left.
Poutine's already triggered.
Poutine already triggered on Wicked Saiyans.
This is correct.
What? Hold on.
No, he's
I
correct.
think he's
he's swung on it,
blocking
he's
the
swung on it.
third unison swing.
Yeah, okay.
Poutine for game, potentially.
Poutine for game.
How many cards in hand? Each?
Four
What's he
versus
got?
3.
Yeah. Those super combos though.
It's got one super left. Oh no, he's got no supers left. 20. 25 with Poutine. Oh
Super?
no! There it is!
Yeah.
There it
He
is.
just couldn't quite push through.
Now Raditz can give himself triple attack
Yep, and crit.
and crit and
Oh,
remove
that is
the last
nasty.
cards with Nappa. I can hear everyone else in the room popping off for Carlo.
Tensing up. I'm tensing up.
Yeah, yo, come on.
This is an excellent
Absolutely
opening game.
biased. Please, Carlo. Absolute bias here.
Piccolo player does have his leader buffed by 5k for the turn because of the Gohan unison skill.
This
That's
is
correct.
true.
So if the Raditz player wants to connect those crit swings, he's going to have to combo up each time, which is going to be
He might
pretty
also-
impactful here.
He could see a Toa. We've seen Toa before. I know there's multiple
I mean-
Toas.
If he's doing hand maths, he might. Yeah, he pluses one to get rid of his last card. Oh!
We could see a Golden Frieza unison.
Yeah, well, he swings with. He's
Raditz
got no cards in
with
hand, so he
crit.
triple attack swings with Raditz and he wins.
Does he have 4 in warp?
I believe so. I believe he does
Yeah,
now.
I think they just did that. That's the first one.
Does he have any cards under his leader? I don't believe he does he?
I think he used all of them, yeah.
He has one more swing of crit, and then Nappa can finish it if he can.
Yeah.
If he has access to combo.
There it is.
There's
That's
Golden Frieza as
Did you-
well. Thank you. Well,
So
we get
what-
to see
why did he
some of
charge
the
him less mode?
spice from SSG Trunks here.
Please
This
explain.
man took his 50 card deck and then decided to put it to 58 cards to add in 4 black-blue Vegetas and 4 copies of the spiciest card in the deck, Senzu Bean.
Oh, is that why that's in rest mode?
That is why that is in rest mode, because it's a black-blue multicolor card.
The more you know.
I would argue that it makes more sense to go to 58 or plus 50 in Trunks because he does burst and draw quite a lot.
Yes.
And it does require things in drop and things in warp in order to do its plays. The deck list here, we've got kind of a lot of black staples. We've got 3 support the Dark Empire, Pan is the SCR, we've got SS3 Gogeta thwarting the Dark Empire, SS4 Gogeta thwarting the Dark Empire at 2, obviously SS3 is at 1 because it's limited, 4 copies of Trunks, 5 drop, 2 True Fighting Spirits and for Goku, for Vegeta, and 4 True Fighting Spirits for Goku, but that's mitigated by the fact that the SS Vegeta super combo can be used as a Union Fusion target for both of the big boys.
Is there a
we've
reason he
managed
didn't swing
with
anything?
not sure.
Presumably, because he knows the Cell player is probably going to awaken next turn if he's seen a 17 or 18, and so giving him the extra cards in hand would just kind of ease up things like his charge for the next turn, or any of
I
his
see.
decisions there. Although, I
Okay.
mean, also, if he hasn't seen the pieces, then him swinging means he doesn't get to see the pieces.
So you're saying that by not swinging, he's making his opponent's decisions a bit harder.
Correct. He doesn't have more cards in hand.
Very, very fair. Very, very fair.
And it does look like he's missed out on the early 1-drop 17 or 18. So he's not able to get 3 cards under his leader quite yet.
I would
Hasn't
always
gotten
imagine,
used to
that you would hard mulligan for your 17s and your 18s in the cell deck. It just seems to make the most sense. But I mean, I'm not an expert on the deck, so it could be that it's more beneficial. Cell's trying to take a more aggressive line here by playing the 4-drop Dawn of Despair, a barrier, draws a card when it's played, and you can limit 1 for 1 green, place an android 18 from your hand or drop underneath, and play an 8-drop cell. We have 2 8-drop cells in here. We have, where's he gone? Unended Torrent, which is the restanding. Is it restanding one? Yeah, you can get rid of cards from underneath him to be standing. He's a 20k blocker. And then we've got Cell Perfection Misspent, which I believe... Yeah, you excuse me, can get rid of an Android 18 from under Cell Perfection Misspent to play a 4-drop out, which would give you the 12 that you need to play Cell Xeno. Cell Xeno's kind of the big win con of the deck. 40k quad strike. Sorry, 40k gains quad strike and dual attack when you have 5 energy. The Trunks GT, I need to get my teeth in today. Trunks Xeno player has started stabilizing the Gohans. The Gohans are 1-drop blockers that play themselves from warp, and then I'm going to say burst 3, but they burst 3 cards to warp instead of drop, which allows the leader to awaken early. It also means that if the Cell player is trying to go aggressive and tries to go up the chain to Cell Xeno, if he's got 2 blockers on board, it's going to be quite difficult for him to get the damage through.
And the Cell player having swung with that 4-drop is going to leave it very vulnerable to a card like this 5-drop Trunks, where it normally wouldn't be because of the barrier keyword on it. Just being able to attack into it and either force cards out of the Cell player's hand or just kill the start of the chain, forcing them to restart next turn with less choices and less cards in hand.
Definitely. So it's more about, again, kind of exhaust the Cell player out of resources.
Beans, there we go.
You mentioned a keyword skill there. What was that keyword skill you mentioned, Ollie?
Oh, that's actually barrier. For those of you who might not have gotten to grips with the barrier keyword skill, or maybe are a little bit confused about interactions between things like barrier and a card like Mecha Freezer Robotic Riposte, you guys can definitely check out the Team Deck Planet YouTube channel. You just search up Team Deck Planet on YouTube, and they've actually been doing an amazing series where they break down every single keyword skill for the game. They've recently done a really, really astounding one on Deflect as well, for those of you who might be interested in that. But for anyone who wants to make sure that they're keeping fresh on their keyword skills, definitely drop a massive, massive subscription to them.
Thanks, Ollie. I'll send you that £5 in the post later.
Yeah, no problem.
And I guess check out DBM if you want, whatever.
Yeah, we're trying to make sure that the content that we're putting out is more geared towards new players and onboarding new players. So if you're at a local event, and there's always that instance where a ruling comes up and it doesn't really make sense.
Thwarting.
Thwarting is massive here. 25k double strike that comes down for 1 and sticks around is mega. He has homicidal, and he can warp the blocker, which is my favorite interaction.
I can't imagine any of this position is good for Cell, man. He's got no Unison, no Chain, and he's staring down Thwarting, Crimson Trunks, Blockers, Unison, Awakened Leader with more than 4 life. Like, I ran out of breath, and I couldn't even explain how fucked Cell looks right now.
And if we see any more Senzu Beans, then there could definitely be more swings to come here. We might even see Cell forced to awaken on his opponent's turn, which would be massive.
Kev saying "rah" in the chat kills me. Rah.
Sorry, I've just seen Irritorum's post. Oh, I only play lists by my favourite YouTuber, Card Games TV1. I think that's why no one will remember you. Irritorum is the 2nd highest ranked player in the Fight Night League. Take my head. Yeah, you are absolutely right though. This is not a good spot for Cell. He has 3 energy, so he can potentially do something, but as we said last game, green doesn't really do well with energy mitigation. It kind of has to play quite honestly with its energy. That 1-drop Cell is probably not going to be too impactful. He's tapping 2, playing a Unison. The Unison will be able to give Cell revenge, but I don't know how much protection that's going to...
Nah, he's going up the whole chain now. He has Awakened still and everything.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's a little too late.
Cell can definitely recuperate a lot of advantage here and clear a lot of the opponent's board, but he's on 3 life, and that puts him in a very precarious position, especially when Dormant is going to let the first swing through and then give his opponent another swing. If Trunks can establish any sort of double strike threats, whether it be a champ or a thwarting, whatever, it's going to put the Cell player in a really tricky position.
Is Jamie just upset that he keeps coming into the stream at the wrong time?
Who's
It's
Jamie?
just a really interesting game.
Oh, wait, who's Jamie?
Scrubby Games DBA.
Ah, I see.
A close personal friend of mine. And Big O. Oh.
That's for you guys back at home.
Shout out to the Scrub Games Discord. Shout out to the Scrub Games webcam locals, keeping the
UK scene alive.
UK alive. Yeah. Huge.
Okay, he chose to kill Crimson Trunks instead of thwarting, I guess, because he showed that he had another 6-drop Goku, so he could just take thwarting back.
Yeah. As well, I think it's worth noting that the Trunks removes itself from the game, whereas there's recurring value to be had out of Gogeta, as you've said. And also, Trunks being a dual attacker means that it's less susceptible to like a single negate. I had a really interesting chat with Melvin Hansa a very long time ago about once the Unison block kind of came out, the game shifted away from strike keywords to attack keywords being more powerful, because the negates are, when you're trying to defend a Unison, being able to negate one double strike attack is a lot more valuable than being able to negate one of two dual attack attacks.
Absolutely. Melvin's my boy.
And the
Let me
Trunks
some
player is
Senzu
just,
Pop.
it's just crit off
Snap
another
charging.
5-drop Trunks.
Snap
So
charge that Kai.
with an overarm this turn, there's going to be another 20k dual attacker coming down.
Yeah.
It's interesting that Carlo keeps staying on the 4-drops and rest instead of going to 8.
Yeah, I think again that's probably because the 4-drops have barrier. It's quite difficult for if he
Yeah,
plays on an
thwarting
enemy
just
terrain.
swings and...
We haven't seen a Dormant come down here. I'm guessing the Cell player may have left the 2 energy up for another Homicidal just to try and survive.
Yep.
But no Dormant coming down is going to put him in a really bad spot here.
I've never seen a green player have so little dormants in hand.
Has he just forgotten to side them in?
He is only running 3, so that could definitely contribute towards him not
No,
seeing
do you know what? He's left the 2 energy open because then he can tap 2 energy and combo off 2 surprise attack freezes.
Actually, that's genius.
Oh, you're right.
Sorry, yes, I'm making a joke, but he's just been forced to combo off his only copy of Perfect Force Cell. That is probably quite important, I think, because it's going to prevent Cell from ripping all of the cards out of his opponent's hand. Gohanks comes down.
And Cell is already...
Immediately
looks like
leaves.
he's got about 4 or 5 cards in hand.
Oh, that was so smooth. He tapped the energy to play Gohanks to bait out Frieza so we could free play. Oh, it looks like he tried to play the free, play the...
He's still doing it, though. I mean, like, yeah.
There it is, yeah.
No reason that doesn't happen as well.
So good. This does open up, pardon me, the opportunity for Overwhelms as well. You've got to be very, very aware that Pan is also something that can come down on a 40k body. When your
She's
opponent's
active
got
right now. Either.
yeah, 40k body when your opponent's got 6 in hand is pretty crazy. Green player's tapped out. This is not looking good. He's gonna play I bet he plays the Gohan here. Oh, he's played. Oh, I like this.
This potentially has double strike. It depends on how many cards in his warp, I believe.
Yeah, I imagine he would have checked.
That's definitely what you want to start your aggression with if you're tapped out against a green player, right?
Yeah.
And are we going to see any Senzu Beans come down here to further extend the Trunks' plays?
If he plays more than one Senzu being here, I think he's got it. Vegeta Super.
Supering, alright.
Digging for the beans.
Pushing the Cell player down to 1 life here is going to be massive as well, because it cuts off any homicidals that he might rip off of life.
Yeah.
The lower
Very
you
good.
get a green player in general, like, you devalue cards like Dormant, because if you're swinging lethal, it doesn't matter if they Dormant or not, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just 2 more cards out of their hand that they have to throw away.
Taking the
Yeah,
hit.
he was double strike. can't even think of a green card right now that
Put it in back.
does anything close to relevant.
He does have Bionic Blitz, which will be relevant if he can survive, but that is a big if.
It also stops him from seeing more cards.
Yes, it's very, very important. Bionic Blitz is good offensively because it can control your opponent's hand in your turn, as well as pushing through damage or, pushing through attacks on a unison. It's 25. It's got 1 energy. Show me the money. Show me the money.
I'm surprised he didn't just combo all in on that.
Yeah,
Unless
that looked
he's got a
like
backup
his
plan.
game.
Unless he's got a backup plan, a backup pan.
He's a man with a pan. 2 supers have gone. Is he going to play Gohank's Apocalyptic Future?
He could always tap 1 for a True Fighting Spirit and just swing in with that.
Hear me out. He's got a black-blue card, right?
Yep.
My man's waiting for energy boosted Majin Buu to get him that good hand draw.
That pass shocks me.
That is crazy. Unless he's got the pan in hand and he's going to play it on the clapback because he wants the
makes
counter
sense.
attack.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's scripted.
He's removing 2, popping the trunks, and then giving it 5k and crit. There it is! There it is! There's the space! It's game over, boys!
He gets to play that card for 0 energy.
Value. Hasn't charged, though. Interestingly. Hasn't charged.
I feel like that looks intentional to me.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. I highly doubt that this high level of play, players would forget to charge. That would just never happen. This is where we see pan is a really, really powerful counterplay there, a counter attack there. Now he can't attack for the turn unless he chooses 2 cards in his hand and discards each time.
Isn't it he can't attack with battle cards?
Yes. So it locks out the 6-drop, the 4-drop. It locks out surprise attack freezer. Unison can still swing.
Unison can still swing, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Doesn't make it any much better, but the distinction is nice.
his opponent's still sitting pretty on 3 life as well. It's either 3 or 4. I think it's 3. This looks like game for the Trunks player. Faysal's pulling it back to 1-1.
Carlo can still at least draw, and then
Yep.
if by some miracle dormant blocker.
True. Again, I would probably leave 2 energy up, just to get the sidle down. I tell you, both of these games, very, very close, very, very down to the wire.
It has been a very good set so far.
Yeah.
Not that last set wasn't good. It's just we have more time to appreciate and watch the game, and it doesn't just end immediately.
This is like watching like Formula 1 or MotoGP, whereas the last one was like watching a train go past, like a bullet train go past. Passing, 2 open, gotta be the turn. You've got to do it. Faysal, bring it home.
Green's got dormant, and then block with cell, and then pay 2 for clones.
Yeah.
And then still lose like 2 turns down the line because you've got no hand and no board and no pressure.
Block here. Can't block. Well,
you can't block.
If he goes to warp the 8-drop, he can remove 2 cards from underneath him, I guess.
Yeah, if he's seen dormant here, then he may be able to live it. Honestly,
Just putting a champer in that hand. Not that it's relevant. Cell does have a pretty healthy hand.
yeah, he's got 7 in hand right now.
Looks like it.
See what you did there.
Okay, looks like he's going to warp the 8-drop, which indicates that the cell player might not have dormant in hand. We've already gone to blocking.
Oh.
That's going to be huge. No dormant is going to pretty much
saves
spell
it so he
death
can
for
block
Cell, I
again,
think.
but
So, what I've noticed there is that Faysal's actually bottom decked the Champer that he had in his hand. He does still have, I think he's also opted not to charge. 4 energy still open. This is 20 play 20. The Unison dies. 2 energy left. Unison swing. Unison is 15.
Looks like Faysal also has about 7 in hand.
Yep. There's the 2 for
Comes the
homicidal.
homicidal.
Oh.
Doesn't really
Reading
have a way
Super
to...
Kamehameha.
Has
Does
Super
not
Kamehameha
hit tokens.
Again, yeah, doesn't hit tokens, unfortunately. However, Faysal has 4 energy. Can just
Yeah,
swing
you
with
can just
leader.
play any card in the game and then palm it and win, but...
You can swing with leader and then tap 4 and play SS4 Gogeta. Right?
You could tap 1 and play energy boosted Majin Buu Vomit and still win.
There's another 5-drop Trunks in the warp. Could be met with a freezer here if he goes for it.
That's the problem he's got to bear in mind.
Ah, he's thinking about it.
Here it comes. Does he
Trunks.
have another charismatic?
freezer.
He does. He's checking Super Kamehameha again. It doesn't work, buddy, I'm afraid.
Wait, does he need to... Oh, it is 2 energy, yeah, of course it is. Silly me.
Draws for Unison.
Yep.
Surely he has another play here. At least
he could have
Overwhelm.
SS4 Goku Beyond All Limits. He could have...
In fact, yeah, he
Hand
added that back
allies.
to hand last turn.
Yeah, he's got an overwhelm.
There it
looks
is.
like that's that. Looks like that closes out the game for Trunks.
Not yet. He's got 4 in hand. He has 5k combo on board. He's adding Gohanks back to hand. Gohanks is another swing.
I'm afraid that's another winner art that you have misinterpreted. That's the SS4 Goku Beyond All Limits.
No, but he added a Gohanks back to hand, didn't he?
With
No, it's
Beyond All
another
Limits.
copy of the Beyond All
Oh,
Limits.
He just keeps grabbing them.
That's
There's
how
the
he's just
Senzu
playing them
beans.
every turn.
The
The
beans
beans coming down.
Chomp,
40k.
chomp, chomp, chomp.
That's it. Oh, Faysal, well done. I'm so proud of you. You basically keep Baby Hatch and an extra card, and then you go as hard as you can, as fast as you can, and then you've got Baby Hatch on the clapback if they try to sort of survive and then get you on the next turn. The
Alright, so that's
Turles
1
player,
Kefla and energy.
yeah, I think that's fine. Running them at 4, you're probably going to see them. Even if you get them discarded or you combo them off for a different reason, you've got KL Timid Sister, add them back to hand. You're going to be drawing lots of cards with things like Energetic Frenzy Kefla, Zamasu the Eliminator, the Great Apes that you've got as well. The leader, I believe, untaps. Oh no, that's on its awakened side. I apologise. When he's in a battle, you can choose a Saiyan card in your hand and discard it. Draw a card, take a life. Oh,
Yeah, and as to be expected from Turles lists that we've seen of recent times, there are of course no actual Turles cards in the deck. The main reason to run the deck is because you get a free Unison out at the start of the game, which can start racking up those markers each turn, and that will trigger the Empower effect for the Gohan Unison.
just gonna ask
later
you
on in the game.
to ask you to check the energy of the Turles player real quick. Just get back to me on that one, Biggo.
The energy.
Final Flash and
Yeah.
Turles.
Yeah, that Turles card that they're running in their Turles deck.
Ah, yes, no, my bad. This is, of course, only used in Yellow Turles, the deck that it was originally intended for.
Yeah, definitely. Really interesting that they're running 4 copies of Goku Final Sacrifice, and 3 copies of Steadfast Assistance, despite the fact that they're running 3, 6, 8, 12, 13 extra cards. Very strange.
Yeah,
Very strange.
this Final Sacrifice is going to be very nice for the Turles deck, actually. Just, again, the Unison coming out at the start of the game and racking up those markers is going to enable a card like this, which requires a Spirit Boost 1 and a yellow Unison out in play in the first place to get its energy reduced, but for some very strong effects.
So do you think that how do you think that it's going to work with the Android 17 and Android 18 unison essentially being a 20k on swing?
Well, I think it will depend on whether the Crimson Goku decides to focus on the unison or the leader, really. Getting that extra combo could mean that he could attempt to control the markers on the Tree of Might early on. But he could also just use it to try and pressure down on leader and try and get an early Kefla established to tap the yellow player out and go for game with that.
Sure. So, would you, as somebody who's played Turles in the past, would you rather they focused on your leader or on your unison?
You've got me mixed up with someone else. I've not played any Turles, I'm afraid.
You've not played yellow Turles, but you have played green Turles.
I have played green Turles.
They're all the same, aren't they?
Yeah, of course. I do feel like attacking the unison and controlling it, unless you're able to really get a strong start, I don't feel like it's going to do a whole lot. Establishing early cards like this Calamity Challenger is definitely helpful towards that goal, but because the unison is 16k, you're going to have to combo in a few cards, even with your unison free comboing each turn. It does feel like just trying to be the aggressor and maybe hitting leader a few times is probably the play in this matchup.
Sure. Goku Calamity Challenger has come down there for 1 energy. It looks potentially, I'm trying to spot if there's a 5-drop Goku anywhere. I don't think there is. Can't go all the way up to UI sign, I don't believe, not with this build. How do we get to the UI sign then? That's a very interesting choice.
You can use the 6-drop SSG Son Goku Miraculous Transformation as a target.
Of course, I missed it. It's because it's an SPR. It's too shiny and blinded my eyes. Bottom part of this deck list is very, very bright.
Yeah, because the requirement on the EX Evolve is just a Son Goku that costs 5 or more.
Yeah, so you can play that for 3 in your opponent's turn. Defend it like all hell. And then and play the UI sign and bounce your opponent's entire board and swing for game? Question mark.
Yeah, I feel like the UI sign is maybe not going to be the play against yellow.
Yeah, definitely not. With that
like
specific
Final
card.
Flash, Release from Evil, Realm of the Gods just to get some extra combo power in there if you need it.
Yeah.
Because obviously you can't combo, but you can still use the activate battles of things like Realm.
Sure.
And also them having strong negates with Frieza's army reinforcements too.
That's the battle that blue and yellow constantly face, is that yellow will try and tap everything down, and then blue goes, you didn't say the magic word, and then untaps everything magically. There is the surprise attack Frieza. God, I've got that on the brain. Frieza's army reinforcements coming down there. The leader, or the Crimson Saiyan leader, has a really interesting awaken condition, where if your life's at 2 or less, or you place 5 Saiyan cards from your drop underneath it, you draw 3 and untap 1. Which is really, really unique. There was actually I believe it was a French regional. It was topped, or a European regional. It was topped by a French player who built a very interesting version of SSG Son Goku Crimson Warrior, and you can actually go and check that out on the Deck Planet YouTube. Just to constantly push that we are the better team here. I mean, that we've got really good YouTube content. And it looks here as though Faysal is contemplating awakening by putting the 5 Saiyans underneath.
I believe he's already on his backside now.
You're absolutely right. I am blind. It's fine. All you can't see Turles and I can't see Goku.
I do feel like a big advantage of the Crimson Goku deck, especially in a matchup like this, is the fact that he just gets to stay at 8 life for the entire game if he wants to.
Yeah.
Because none of the life taking is mandatory with the leader. And especially against a yellow deck, which maybe can't put on as much early pressure as, say, a red deck might be able to. He's going to be able to sit pretty at 8 life, and even if the yellow deck establishes an early Gohan unison and goes for a triple attack, he can just take all of that and then go down to 4 and still be absolutely fine.
He does have a lot in hand for such a high life total.
Yeah,
He
that
really does.
Crimson Goku
Really
deck
does.
really draws cards, especially
think he's
early
on-
on, just being able to discard apes as well.
I think he's on 8 or 9 in hand, but at 8 life, having 8 or 9 in hand is insane.
And he'll also have access to free combos every turn with his Leader's Activate Battle, and the potential for an untap 1 draw 1 on top of his untap 1 draw 1 every turn. So anytime
very-
it looks like this guy is tapped out, he could, during the opponent's turn, just completely untap. Even if he doesn't have D magic or anything like that, he can untap 1 from being tapped out. And then if he does have beans or D magics, he can go straight into a Kefla from that as well.
Yeah, so going back to that very first turn where he charged the Kefla, the arrival condition for SS2 Kefla Lightning Speed is just 2 blue and 1 yellow. So by charging that in the earlier turns and kind of freeing himself up to play mono blue energy from that point onwards, as Big O has said, if he uses the activate battle ability of his leader, he can place 3 or more cards under his leader in the drop area, gets 2k power for each card placed in the drop area, draws a card and untaps a blue, as well as getting the combo power from the unison. If he's got 1 energy, he can then bean, and bean suddenly he's at 3 energy. He might have a blue card in his combo area, combo off, I don't know, one of the apes as well. Then he's at blue-yellow, he's met the conditions, and not only has he defended an attack, he's also now got a double striker block, a dual attack 30k that bottom decks a battle card from 0. It's incredible. And with the size of the hand that he's got, it's very, very likely that he has parts of, if not all of that combination. And on top of all of that, he's got D-Magic, he's got Trunks, he's got Zamasu the Eliminator, he's got Baby Hatch. There's just lots of things that this blue deck can look to do. And as Big O also touched on, unfortunately, yellow is in a bit of a spot now where it doesn't necessarily have the early game pressure. The earliest you can really start doing things is kind of turn 3 onwards, with things like Turles All Too Easy, with things like playing a Basil or having a Mecha Frieza live, maybe getting a Bergamo down or a Cooler. The Unison, the SS2 Gohan as well, which he's running at 4, is a turn 3 play at the very earliest. And it because it takes a while for them to get going, it means that the blue player can stabilize, they can draw a lot of cards, they can see the pieces that they need, and it becomes a really interesting battle of, can the yellow player push through the damage whilst also making sure that they're not dead on the clapback, because if Baby Hatch comes down and you're tapped out and you're going into a turn where they've got their full board, you can't attack, and they've also got now a 40k body on top. Very, very difficult.
Okay, here comes Berg.
Yeah,
Toss Berg.
Bergamo, very strong play. It does tap down to energy, but as we've said, if blue has 1 energy, blue has infinite energy, so I don't know how impactful that's going to be.
It does potentially stop any Keflas from being arrivaled in this turn, because it taps him from 3 to 1 and taps out the multicolor
I thought
energy.
it was a Turles turn. I apologise. You're absolutely right. It's locked him out of a turn essentially there, which is quite good.
Yeah, it really stops his aggression this turn, which is why I was interested in it.
I don't think he should be too worried though. I think the main play from Turles next turn will just be a Gohan Unison and start setting up and drawing some cards. But the Crimson Goku is on 6 life, he's still got D magics, he's still got his leader activate battle.
That's at
So
least a 10 plus hand.
Yeah, it's not like he's gonna be dying anytime soon. He can just sit back and let the yellow player just drop all of their cards that will tap him out, and eventually
is
he'll
dead.
run out.
What you're saying is he's going to go ahead and draw his last pathetic card.
Something like that, yeah.
Why am I like this? Okay, 5 energy for the Turles player. Turn 5 plays for a yellow player. Nice to know that you've got 3 energy open for a cooler counter. Mira is obviously live. I don't know how likely it is that he would overrealm, given that his Unison's in the drop, and I think he probably wants to get that back.
Looks like a Turles is coming down just to clean up those 2 battle cards on the board.
Oh wait, does he want? Maybe he wants to draw.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
Wants
can
the
definitely
draw.
afford to just swing over the 15k with his battle cards here.
Bergamo will probably almost definitely go in. Here's a D magic. called it.
I can imagine it's unlikely he'd follow this up with a Gohan Unison here, because in yellow you just generally don't want to tap out. It really restricts your defensive options during the opponent's turn.
Having said that, he's going to do exactly that.
You don't know my boy Carlo.
I will eat my words.
To be fair, he does have 5 life. He's got Frieza's army. He's seen 2 copies, but he may have a 3rd. He's also got Released from Evil. There's Vegeta Prideful Transformation, which is also useful.
Gohan Unison is also a blocker here.
Yeah, and potentially, if his opponent's going all in, he could combo with Piccolo and Gohan.
Always swinging. This could be a bit of overextension here from Turles. We may see a Kefla arrival here if the Crimson Goku player has the pieces.
I love when players do this, because you have no idea what they're thinking. Sometimes
Yo, I
I
love
like
watching
to think
the
that
finger
players...
wiggle.
Yeah, it's like, are they
playing
just playing a tune on a piano?
That's exactly it. They're texting.
Another
texting
D
someone.
magic coming down.
Goes to 4 energy though. 4 open
Does.
energy is pretty cool. Does mean that the yellow player, as you said, is tapped out. He only has 1 blocker, and obviously the negates that we previously mentioned. But it's now gone to turn 5. We have got a Baby Golden Avenger in the deck. That is something that the yellow player needs to be aware of.
Crimson Goku has taken himself down to 4 life here with those 2 D magics. That's going to limit his defenses quite a lot for the rest of the game, and
His
put him
hand's
in.
still huge.
Yeah, of course.
So he takes it, goes down to 4. That was a swing with the 4-drop Calamity Challenger.
And as if his hand wasn't already big enough, here comes another ape. I feel like we definitely have some potential to see a Kefla arrivaled in here.
Yeah, it'll be...
Now would be the time. He's got to take advantage of yellow being tapped out like this.
Yeah, and he can use the Kefla effect if he has another copy in hand to tap out the Unison so that he doesn't even have a blocker on board. Taking him down to 3 life with the leader swing will be massive too, because it means even if he has another Frieza's Army reinforcements, he'll go down to 2 and then be able to block one of the Kefla swings, and then that'll still leave him in double strike range.
She's removing 3, untaps the energy, draws the card, gives his leader another 5k, with a 6k, sorry. So it's a 21k single strike that has untapped him and drawn him another card. You have to be, I mean, that is a small book that Faysal holding there. Yellow player does look a little bit unsettled.
Yellow player with nowhere near as many cards in hand as Crimson Goku here.
Yeah, this is
No,
not the
that's-
situation you want to be in.
That's the kind of hand that you drop the table and you get that satisfying boom,
Yeah, 100%.
that
100%.
nice fucking thud.
Oh, no combo on the Crimson Goku swing here, so that means we will not be seeing a Kefla arrival.
Okay, so because the card flipped over was yellow, you can choose a card in rest mode. It gets minus 5,000 power for the battle. Obviously, Calamity Challenger dropping to 10k doesn't really matter that much.
So he does it to lead and then out combos.
Oh yeah, sorry, of course it's cards in rest mode, not battle cards. I apologize.
Okay, here's Kale.
That is Beerus. What's Beerus's wording? Does it?
So he's adding
what's
the
Beerus's wording? Does it say
clarification around the
back on
Beerus
deck?
wording.
If not, then you gotta shuffle.
No, you draw the card regardless.
Yeah.
You reveal the top, and if it's a yellow, you do a thing. If it's a red, you do a thing. If it's red, yellow, you do both, and then draw the card.
Yeah. I would agree, but we'll the doctor is in the house, so we'll respect his.
Absolutely. I don't got a PhD.
We will respect his diagnosis. I don't think any of us have a PhD. I don't even have a H.
I gotta pee.
I mean, you can go, man. There's three of us. We'll hold it down.
I can wait.
Dun, 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 dun. Right. So Kale has come down, which has added the multi back to hand, which maybe tells me, ooh, I like that. Bardock coming down from the overall. Draw 2, pitch 1. There goes Trunks.
He grabbed the card back before doing his overwhelm. That's good sequencing.
Yes, definitely. I mean, do like a real gamer pee and then wash yourself later. That is disgusting.
It says the not real gamer.
Whoa. I'll have you know that I have a bad back from sitting in my gamer chair for too long. Because like a gamer, I sit in my gamer chair and play video games in my gaming chair.
My apologies, gamer. I didn't know you were a gamer.
Faysal's got a book in his hand. He does, and currently he's reading it. This is what this does. Ooh, here.
Reading it like
Maybe he was missing the blue-yellow. That's why he wasn't doing it on the leader swing.
Yeah. I can see
he's
that he's really broadcasting that baby ape.
Oh, the counterplay comes down.
Ooh, that is huge.
That is massive. Bean?
Bean's
Don't
gonna
tell
win.
me we're going to see another one.
Oh, please.
Bean?
Another
Please.
bean?
Please.
I mean,
Also
instead of discarding it,
You must have
you can just play another one.
You must have baby hatch.
He can bottom deck the blocker now as well.
Yeah, that's crazy. You can bottom deck 2 things.
Yeah.
Kefla's double strike.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't have deflect. This does mean that he's probably not going to be able to pitch the his 4th copy of Kefla to draw 2 and tap a card down.
Well, with the size of his hand, he may have it.
Yeah. Let's see, while he skims his hand to the camera, can anyone see a Kefla?
No, but I
See
can't
a
see that.
baby
That's
ape.
golden ape, but he keeps flashing. There's the blocker. Okay. I'm gonna say, yeah, well, I thought he was attacked, but he mustn't have. He must have.
He's making
Preemptive.
sure Carlo really doesn't use a counter here.
Doesn't look like he even used Kefla effect. He's just swinging.
I think he pitched God Sealing though.
Ah, in that case. It looks like he's used Kefla effect, and now he's swinging. Oh! That's
Hey,
2
Turles
life.
down to
Eaten
1.
up from Turles.
I
He's down to
can't see
1.
baby hatch in that hand.
If he did use the Kefla swing, then... Or the Kefla effect, then that should be a dual attack. Maybe
I
he
mean-
didn't.
He wasn't at 3, was he? Like before the Kefla swing.
He was at 3 before the Kefla swing.
Oh, that's interesting.
So he took 1 from the Bardock attack, and then he took 2 from one of the Kefla swings.
Maybe Gohan blocked it, and he just didn't bother tapping because it was past turn afterwards.
Potentially.
If Gohan did block it, I feel like he... With the size of his hand, he could have tried to go for game on that 1-drop, to be honest. Yellow has a lot of 1 energy stuff that it needs.
Yeah, that's true.
To be fair, actually, in this build there are not many 1-cost cards. There is 1, 2. I'll include the SCR 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Annihilator, but does that really stop like Baby Hatch? I don't think so.
No,
It stops sparking D magic though, which is
does,
pretty
it
massive.
does. I think he's essentially praying that he doesn't have baby hatch here.
I mean,
That makes sense.
Baby
Um,
Hatch getting matched with cooler counter could be pretty massive too.
Oh
yeah. He does have
That's a
cooler
really good
counter
point.
counter.
That's
He's
a
got
really
3
good
up.
point.
Crimson still has a pretty big hand though. It
Yeah.
looked like he minused on the Gohan, so that's going to be 25 triple, and leader is a 20k.
20 triple? Oh, sorry, it's base 20, isn't it? Yeah, 25
Yeah,
triple,
25. I thought it
leader.
was 15 too. I had to correct myself.
It looks like we're just gonna have to
Where's the
rely on
hatch?
hand size and out comboing here, to be honest,
Where's
until
the
the
hatch?
yellow player taps under 3.
Oh, he's not hatching intentionally. Yeah, you guys are smart. That's a hell of a follow-up, though.
That is a very, very strong clapback turn.
Yo, if he Gohan's over this Gohan and powers and triple attacks again,
Back after using the Beerus. Yeah, Yes. That's exactly why. So it doesn't. So the card itself does not say to place the card on top of your deck. All it says is reveal the top card of your deck, and then. Does it
Get a
say
bit
to
more
add that in?
clarification around Beerus, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay, my fault. I misread the. I didn't see the reveal the hand part or the add to hand part. My fault. You're good.
You
So,
definitely take the card. It's just...
Nobody else. I don't think anyone else can. Oh no, they can. Stream can hear. Stream can hear. Nobody heard it. Nobody heard it. It's fine. Dr.
No,
House has not made mistakes.
I don't think we've seen any super combos come down from Crimson Goku here.
Absolutely
Is
correct.
it,
We've
is it a
seen no
malpractice?
super combos.
Any sort of Zamasu super combos to rest things like Bugamo could be pretty massive
There's
here
one.
too. He might be able to just combo out, honestly, and then
That would be rather
wait
hilarious.
for yellow to tap out and go for a hatch.
Cody can remove a card. Oh, that's so good. 27 there, plays 25, so he's out. He's still got such a big hand.
He had to use
He's also
zero
got
cards
lots of
after
cards in
that.
between them. Hey,
A wiener.
swing number 2. Now I'm huge into reading body language, and I can see. Oh, there's a lot of shaking going on from one side of the board, and I tell you what, Faysal's very steady.
Oh, very steady. Picks up. Will he pick up some of his energy? No. What?
Wait, does that mean he doesn't have more supers in hand? With
Sorry,
that
that-
size of a
that looked
Or
hand?
is he
really weird.
He could be baiting him. He could be baiting him.
I feel like he just fucking spilled his hand.
Takes the damage. That's the last attack from the Gohan. So
Just gotta combo
realistically,
out.
he's got 3 attacks left. 2 damage. Does
And
run
there's-
Champ.
There is a jumper there, yeah.
He's tapping down.
Here
Ooh.
it comes.
There's
Mirror.
Mirror.
However, no longer is he on 3 energy.
This is
If
so...
Baby Hatch is in hand,
Hatch is there. Is it there?
surely he has it.
Of course it's there. It's a blue deck.
Please.
He
Oh
doesn't
my
have
god, he's
it.
not done it!
Oh my god.
Where's the
Oh
hatch?
my god, Faysal!
Oh! I'm sorry, headphone users. I'm so sorry, headphone users.
No, it was deep into his life. It was deep into his deck, sorry.
Oh, my boy!
Oh, that is rough. That is really rough.
I apologize, headphone users. Oh my god, I popped off way too hard.
We have anonymous here. This is nice. I like this. So, any cryptic words you have for the people? I don't know. What the hell does anonymous do anymore?
Fucking nothing, maybe?
There we
I
go.
don't know.
This is
You know. That's my Team Berserk mask. I'm a huge fan.
That's
You don't like my Team Berserk mask? What the hell do you not recognize it? This is from the Carlo video, bro. It goes to show how much you watched it. Come on.
to be
That's a
fair.
neat team-
We
To-
can't hear anything, bro.
To
Oh,
be,
okay.
I can't understand a fucking word.
Can you not hear a word I'm saying? Oh, bro.
No, take it off.
I think you
what-
just need it on top.
Alright.
Oh, it destroyed his
Oh, what
webcam.
the-
You see, he needs the power of the mask.
Yeah, I got my Team Berserk mask. I'm
There
a
we
huge
go.
fan.
Oh, there
Of
we
course.
go. That's true. I forgot
Yeah.
we sold those back in 08.
Back in Nom. I
yeah.
got them, you know.
Back in Nam, but yeah, congrats on the win. That honestly, that was a nipple biter there at the end. We thought Faysal was gonna take it. We thought Baby Hatch was coming down.
How
He was
did
just
you think
waiting.
Faysal was gonna take it, bro?
We thought the Baby Hatch was gonna come down as soon as you tapped that 1 and went down to 2. We're just like, here's Baby Hatch. He's not scared of Cooler anymore. And then Mira came in like this was fucking set 4 all over again.
2018.
2018, I'm still living in the past. You know, Mira Champa is, you can take Trunks Jeet out of my rotation, but you can't take Yellow Good Stuff out of my rotation, unfortunately.